I'm not that worried about it because, man, is he boring. Like, it's very hard to, like, actually absorb anything Obama's saying. You're just going, like, come on, dude. You could drive a truck through those spaces between words. It's just like, we get it. You're important, historic, but try to speed it up a bit.
His administration's done. His foreign policy's done. So anything he does right now just doesn't mean anything. And this is almost like trying to get the last word in a conversation you lost. Like, your mama. That's basically what Obama did. We kick out the diplomats, but what doesn't affect anybody.
Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus just ripped open a political piñata. And the name that fell out wasn't a shock. Obama. What came next was so unexpected, it felt like even the show paused for a second. This wasn't just casual talk. They unleashed something that had people in Washington staring into their coffee cups. So what did Obama do to put that knowing smile on Gutfeld's face like he just won a bet on live TV? Stick around, because this moment could crack the carefully built image of America's so-called coolest former president.
The most boring person on the planet. And that says something. I have a rule of thumb, though. When they say it's both sides.
The previous segment, we talked about when his publisher told him to speak and when he got to talk for himself. This is another example of a brother having to talk about something that they told him to.
Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus have done it again. The unlikely pair behind political chaos just peeled back another ugly layer of Washington, and the name floating out this time was impossible to miss. Barack Obama. Yes, the same man once praised for staying calm under pressure is now linked to a secret that's suddenly setting off conversations all across the political world.
Could cut a rug. Look at Syria, Iran, ISIS. I'd say his best move was the chicken dance.
Oh boy.
And Obamacare, a hustle. Don't worry, sad stars. Obama isn't really going away, though. He can always keep playing a president on TV. He'd probably do a great job, or at least do less damage. So, Hollywood will miss Obama. But what will Obama miss? Donald Trump, ISIS, American dissent? It's hard to miss something you didn't see coming or going in the first place. The rise of ISIS, the pernicious spread of Islamism, flourished under the president. These are the things that he overlooked.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think. And this isn't just any secret. It's the kind that makes Gutfeld smirk, like he's uncovered something he was never supposed to find. When that smile shows up, it's a warning. You know something big is coming. It's like when a cat stares into an empty corner. You see nothing, but the tension is real. Something strange, something huge is about to break loose, and everyone in the studio can feel it.
You also missed the fact that he also unfriended Obama on Facebook. So this is laughable. Unfortunately, for our president, who's done, and they know he's done, and these sanctions mean absolutely nothing. When these sanctions came out, his phone buzzed. He got a DM from probably Donald Trump saying, "Don't trip, I got this. We'll fix it, after the 20th." And he went, "Okay, cool, we're good. Now go ahead." Enjoy.
Right on cue, Tyrus was there, arms crossed, ready to slice through the noise. Part sidekick, part fact checker, and all sarcasm. Because when Gutfeld and Tyrus decide to drag something into the spotlight, it's never calm or polite. It's a roast mixed with doubt, wrapped in humor, and served hot on live TV. Every shot they take lands hard, and that's exactly why the audience can't look away.
Obama and Trump say what? Tyrus, Trump and Obama sat next to each other at Jimmy Carter's funeral. They appear to have buried the hatchet. What do you think they were saying?
Oh, I know what they were saying. Hey, two-term guy. What's up, two-term guy? How are you doing? I don't know, just doing my two-term thing. And Biden was in the front and Kamala was in the... oh, hey, I'm sorry, no term and one term.
It's so funny. Dana, and meanwhile, you have Hillary, no term. Yep. Sitting there, and she's just away from her two-term Trump.
Hey, but she got that...
So, what's Obama's secret? And no, it's not something boring like a streaming cameo or an old golf score. Don't fool yourself. Gutfeld and Tyrus went all in, digging into a mystery most people didn't even realize they were circling. The power behind the scenes, the whispers, the quiet chess moves, and the strange coincidences that make you stop and wonder why everything somehow leads back to the Obamas. It's almost funny how every political twist ends with his name floating in the background, like a watermark you can't remove. Gutfeld joked that Obama could be surfing in Hawaii and still get blamed or credited for whatever chaos hits Washington. A bad policy? Must be Obama's influence. Prices jump? His shadow again. A celebrity meltdown? Probably checked in with him first. But this time, the secret isn't about what he gets blamed for. It's about what he might still be doing quietly. The rumor mill is spinning fast, and Tyrus didn't hesitate to ask the big question. What if Obama is still running things? Not officially, of course. Officially, he's painting, producing documentaries, and reminding everyone how popular he once was. But unofficially, his fingerprints may be all over decisions that feel far too polished to come from the current playbook.
President Obama still has Trump on his mind. Tuesday, he spoke to the Economic Club of Chicago, where Crain's columnist Greg Gutfeld noted a startling comparison of Trump to Hitler. Gutfeld paraphrases what he heard President Obama say. We have to tend to this garden of democracy or else things could fall apart quickly. That's what happened in Germany in the 1930s, which despite the democracy of the Weimar Republic and centuries of high-level cultural and scientific achievements, Adolf Hitler rose to dominate. 60 million people died, so you got to pay attention and vote. So, Nazi Germany, here we...
You could see Gutfeld enjoying every second of it. He called it the invisible presidency. That strange kind of control that doesn't need press conferences or motorcades. Just a few quiet phone calls and suddenly everything falls into place. It's like Obama turned politics into a subscription. You don't always see him, but somehow the charges keep showing up. Tyrus, meanwhile, looked like he'd just solved a long-running puzzle. He leaned back with that knowing smile, like he couldn't believe people missed the signs for so long. To him, the numbers added up. The timing, the tone, the messaging, it all felt like a reunion tour no one ever announced. Honestly, it's like Obama left office but kept the Wi-Fi password. What's wild is how calmly this idea lands now. No shock, no outrage. Obama could walk into a global summit, grab the mic, and half the room would nod and say, "Yeah, that makes sense." That's how deep the imprint runs. Not just political influence, but cultural staying power. And that's exactly what Gutfeld and Tyrus were laughing about. The idea that Obama might outlast the presidency itself without even trying. They broke it down like investigators at a crime scene. Every speech that sounds too smooth. Every line that feels too polished. There it is again, that familiar signature. That faint trace of eloquence showing up where it supposedly shouldn't.
The website, I think, was $29 a month for the fiddling crew. I don't think the American people are glad to see that one go, but when Kennedy acknowledged earlier that Joe was going to be taking this over. So they put the two most easiest things to cut off that there was no victory, and I think he understood that, because let's remember, when he got out, when his term was up, he did not endorse Joe Biden because Joe Biden was crooked and was fleecing the country then on his...
Gutfeld's comedic radar locked onto the ultimate irony. Obama might be the only person who left politics and still controls the storyline. Most leaders step away and fade into memoirs or paid speeches. But Obama did the opposite. He turned his presidency into a full-on franchise. The sequels, the legacy versions, and the extended cuts are always playing somewhere. And honestly, if he really is still pulling strings, it's hard to even be mad about it. No one else could make quiet influence look that smooth. Most politicians struggle to hide a single mistake. Obama could hide an entire operation and still get praised for dropping a playlist. That's the part Gutfeld and Tyrus couldn't stop laughing about. His unmatched cultural pull. Calm authority mixed with mean ready charm. He's one of the few people who can trend online without doing anything at all. He could post a photo of lunch and spark a week-long debate about what it means. Gutfeld joked that maybe the real secret isn't even political. Maybe Obama just mastered the art of turning mystery into a career. And while everyone argues, the internet keeps spinning, breaking down every move like it's part of a national puzzle.
Energy for the rest of your life. It's like, how could this be bad? And you have cheap natural gas, but he is terrified of, I think, the environmentalist factions in his own party.
Being
he
not
can't
cool.
say, yeah, being not cool. That's what it is.
Thank you.
That was a good heckle.
Heckle.
It's just, yeah, but it's true. No, he's scared. He is scared of that's part of the problem. Is environmentalism is perceived as a cool.
Every time Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus float one of their theories, social media lights up like it's trying to solve a national riddle. Some people get angry, others laugh, and the rest grab popcorn and enjoy the show. Because let's be real, this is the kind of drama politics has been missing. Forget the usual controversies. People want twists, hidden motives, and late-night intrigue. What makes it even funnier is how predictable it's become. The moment something even slightly suspicious happens in government, Gutfeld's eyebrow starts twitching like a built-in radar, as if he's thinking, is this another Obama thing? It's like he's created his own political universe where every storyline somehow circles back to Obama's lasting shadow. And then there's Tyrus, the perfect balance. He barely needs to say a word. Just that slow, knowing nod that says, yeah, I see it too. Together, they feel like detectives in a buddy cop comedy. Except instead of chasing criminals, they're chasing patterns that probably shouldn't connect, but are way too entertaining to ignore. And here's the best part. Gutfeld hinted at the truth behind the jokes. People don't enjoy these ideas just because they're wild. They enjoy them because deep down, they kind of want them to be true.
First black president, you get that, oh, I can't have any problems. And Joe was like, don't worry, I'll get all the problems for you, all the smoke. So when he was doing that, you can tell it's disingenuous because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing instead of saying, look, I'm going to put this moron who's going to steal and make it way worse. And now we've seen from that date, from that time, how big the spending and ridiculousness has gotten with Joe Biden's fingers always being around with the exception of 4 years. So I think, and if you asked him if the camera turned off, he would have been like, man, I can't believe we're going to let this dumb be in charge of this stuff. You know he's going to screw this up, right? That's exactly what would have happened.
There's something oddly comforting about the idea that there's still an adult in the room. Someone quietly steering the ship while everything else spins around. And let's be honest, chaos has never really fit Barack Obama's image. He's too calm, too polished. If he's actually working behind the scenes, you can bet the curtain is perfectly pressed first. Then came the biggest twist of all. The thought that his influence might not stop at politics but reach deep into the media too. That's what made what Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus laid out both funny and strangely believable. It almost feels like he's got a hidden make it go viral button tucked away somewhere in Martha's Vineyard. And honestly, it doesn't sound that far-fetched. He's the only former president who can outshine the current ones without even trying. You could have 3 people arguing policy in the Oval Office, and one message from Obama would quiet the whole room. That's not politics, that's influence on another level. Of course, Gutfeld couldn't miss the irony. For years, people laughed off talk of shadow power and behind-the-scenes control. But now, it's starting to feel less like fantasy and more like smooth, efficient management.
Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about.
I think Obama appreciates Trump for saying what he wished he could say.
Well, not just that, and they also were both like, hey, we both won twice. So that
Yeah.
Obama Management Corporation. That's what Greg Gutfeld jokingly called it. A place where every crisis comes with a polished statement and a perfectly timed smirk. Tyrus couldn't stop laughing at the image. Obama, relaxed in a sleek chair. Advisors nearby, calmly watching the world spin while sipping coffee labeled something like hope and control. And honestly, if anyone could run things quietly and make it look effortless, it's the guy who turned campaign speeches into poetry and made politics feel like a TED Talk. But beneath the jokes, there's that nagging thought. What if Gutfeld isn't entirely wrong? Somehow, everything still seems to move to Obama's rhythm. Every new leader, every fresh controversy, it all feels like a remix of his original playbook. That's what makes this secret both funny and unsettling. If it's true, Obama's the most charming puppet master imaginable. If it's not, he's still living rent-free in everyone's mind. Either way, he wins. Even out of office, he controls the conversation. And that kind of influence can't be bought. It's earned, refined, and hard to shake. Gutfeld and Tyrus wrapped it up laughing, joking that even decades from now, a hologram of Gutfeld will pop up mid-scandal just to say, you know who's really behind this. And people will still nod, because once a myth gets that strong, the facts barely matter.
Soothed by his NPR voice. I was the most relaxing I've ever heard of him. Look, I think he's sexist. I think he's portraying his candidate as a damsel in distress. That somehow she's the target of all these things, when in fact she's responsible for all these things by having this email, this private server. And there's one thing too that he's ignoring, and a lot of people are ignoring, is that Team Hillary knew about Anthony Weiner before he resigned.
The funniest part is that Barack Obama doesn't even try to deny any of it. He just gives that familiar, calm smile. The one that quietly says, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And just like that, the world starts spinning, trying to read between every line. And that's the real secret here. Not power itself, but mystery. As Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus leaned back enjoying their latest reveal, it was clear they weren't just stirring the pot. They were enjoying every second of the chaos they'd set off. Because in the circus of modern politics, Obama feels like the ringmaster who never truly left. And they're the two sharpest voices pointing at the trick everyone pretends not to see. Somewhere out there, Obama is probably smiling again. Calm, composed, quietly amused. Because when your secret might be that you're still in charge, you don't rush to deny it. You let people keep guessing. After all, what's more powerful than being the mystery everyone can't stop talking about? And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. The so-called Obama secret blew up overnight. The man couldn't even share a family photo without people claiming it was some coded message meant for the highest levels of power.
Obama surprised fans on our new podcast by saying her pet peeve about her husband is that he's chronically late. For example, we're still waiting on him to admit he's from Kenya. And as for Barack's pet peeve about Michelle, he's mad that she keeps leaving the toilet seat up. When she cleans it.
Meanwhile, Greg Gutfeld and Tyrus leaned back like artists admiring the chaos they'd just unleashed, watching it spread across the internet. Every clip from their segment got sliced, remixed, captioned, and analyzed by people who missed the sarcasm but couldn't look away from the spectacle. And through it all, Barack Obama stayed silent, which somehow made it even funnier. Nothing fuels a rumor quite like calm, deliberate quiet. By the weekend, lines were drawn, believers, skeptics, and those just there for the show. In that moment, Gutfeld and Tyrus didn't just float a theory. They revealed America's favorite habit, the need for Obama to stay the central character. And the real punchline, they didn't even have to introduce anything new. They struck the match and walked away, while everyone else built the fire. The so-called Obama secret didn't just spark conversation. It became the most entertaining national pastime of the week.